Yo, what's up? Welcome to another video. And today, yeah, like everybody's talking about Anth Anthem. No, Marathon. Sorry, I have Anthem on my mind all the time. I love that game. Don't know about you, but we're going to be talking about Marathon in the live stream that happened Friday and how it was a disaster, at least in my opinion. It I don't know. For me, it frustrated me and everything. But today we're going to be talking about, the art, the customization, the proximity chat, the solo play, the crew play and stuff. I'm going to leave timestamps below, okay? And if I don't, leave a comment, okay? And say, "Fool, you forgot something. Make timestamps." I'll get right on that. But I'm going to try to do that. So let's actually talk about, let the stream was kind of like I said, bad, and you can tell like Joe Cross did not want to be there. Y'all in chat were killing me with plagiarism would make me God, and he could see that. He was just sitting right there, just miserable, just seeing that. Just kept posting it, man. Oh God, let's actually like this stream.
Yeah, and wanted to take a minute to talk about some of the events from yesterday. It came to our attention, and sorry, I wrote this. I want to make sure I get this message right. It came to our attention that an artist who worked on Marathon in the early stages of pre-production took a number of graphic elements from a graphic designer without permission or acknowledgement and placed them on a decal sheet that was then checked in 2020. The decal sheet included icons and text elements. These elements ended up in our alpha build, and there's absolutely no excuse for this oversight. And we are working on and 100% committed to our review process to ensure instances like this don't happen again on Marathon or at Bungie. A few of the things that we've done over the last 24 hours and what we're doing to shore up the review process are as follows. We've reached out to Anti-Real, the artist in question, and followed up to ensure that we do right by this artist. We're auditing all of the previous work by the artist, the internal artist, including the environment decals already in the build, which is part of why we're delaying some of the content we're going to show today. And we're committed to removing anything that is questionably or inappropriately sourced. We're doing a very broad decal audit, and if we locate any other details or elements, we'll make sure that those are eliminated, recreated in-house for sure. Hundreds of artists have worked on this project for years, internally and externally, and we share many
assets. Would it not make more sense to employ the artist who obviously has nailed the aesthetic?
The question was, instead of scrubbing all the assets, wouldn't it be easier to employ the artist who made all the assets?
Yeah, I mean, and for what it's worth, we're confident that the majority of the assets in that capacity are original, created internally by our internal artists. We would love to work with Anti-Real if that's an opportunity that presents itself. I mean, that's part of what we sort of reached out to communicate. It's a very at this point, it's a very small sort of set of assets. The decals themselves are the kind of they're details that are sort of placed on the sides of buildings or crates or something like that. So we absolutely do need to replace them, and we would rule in sort of any sort of way of doing that, including contracting, collaborating, or working with the artist for sure.
And additionally, I think
it's a great question.
Oh, just to sort of add on to that. Additionally, when we run into situations like this, we also feel like something slipped through our net, and so we have to go back and look at everything just to make sure that nothing else slipped through our net, if that makes sense, because it caught us by surprise, and we want to just make sure that we're doing the right diligence to ensure it doesn't happen again. So, either way, we're going to scrub all the assets just because we want to make sure that we didn't miss something else. But yeah.
Okay, like that makes sense. Like they're gonna scrub the assets out of the game, and man, I don't know what to say. It's like Joe admits like it fell through the cracks. Like they messed up. They know that they really messed up, and people left questions. Why not just employee? I mean, hire the artist. That makes a lot of sense, but you got to think about if she doesn't want to come onto the team and they just wait until she gives them an answer and they get that whole process done with. Well, that's time wasted. They could have just got rid of the assets. So I see where they're coming from. But I do think the best option would just to buy it or hire her. I think the best option just be hire her. But there's a lot. There's a lot. If you ever got hired at a job or something, it doesn't happen right away. So I get the whole thing. They're just gonna scrub it right now. But it's like, what if you do get in contact with her and she does end up coming on the team? Are you have like some backup plan to like, okay, we can actually put all this back in? I don't know. I thought about this. It's like, why is scrubbing it? And it's crazy because all this happened. We didn't get any gameplay or anything. I mean, we seen a lot of the gameplay. We had the alpha and everything, but they probably could have shown something new. And they talk about like how the weapons we got in the alpha, that's not even all the weapons, which personally I'm happy for. I didn't think this would be all the weapons, but I would like to see the rest. But anyways, back, the artist thing, it sucked that it happened. They need to find out who did it. And they need to keep a little bit tighter leash and pay attention to what their artists are doing, because a lot of them follow what's her name again? Hold on. Anti-Real. They follow Anti-Real, so they need to pay a little more close attention. All right. Hopefully this doesn't happen again. It's like bad news on bad news.
A lot about is crew play, and sort of thinking about the variety of different ways that players play the game. We definitely had people playing, a lot of people playing in solo matchmaking. We had a decent amount of people who played in solo unmatch made, so just basically running around in the world of solo. We had a chunk of people who played in trios, across the different board. And we definitely found that through the feedback and also through a lot of the experiences that were relayed to us inside of the alpha, that the crew match made experience just wasn't that great, And so we're looking at a lot of ways to potentially solve that on our side. Some of it is thinking about how each individual can contribute.
Okay, so this is my problem with the live stream, because they act like we're not giving them the answer. Like they're talking about the crew play and how people were solo and like go in game by themselves solo and match make solo too, and a lot of people aren't having a good experience matchmaking with randoms because we all have different quests in the game. So people just want to go over here, then this person wants to go over there. it's like it's the obvious answer. I don't know. At least to me, it is. Let me know in the comments if it's the obvious, uh, obvious answer to you. Like, it's, I guess it's not that obvious to them. Like solo play, like that will fix a lot. I mean, yes, they talk about the ping system and everything and how it wasn't that good. So they're working on that too. But at the end of the day, that's not gonna help a bunch of randoms who have all kind of different quests and they're not hopping on to the mic or anything because a lot of people just don't want to hop onto the mic. Okay, that's how some people like to play games. Let them people play by themselves. Yes, they can go into the game by themselves solo, but that's like 10 times 10 times harder because they're going to be fighting teams of 3. I mean, they don't have to. They can play like a little rat. No offense, because I'm probably going to do that every once in a while too. But like, why force people to play like that? You know, I'm just blown away. Yeah. I personally just don't get it. Now, if there's something in the back end, I'm no game developer or anything like that, okay? So I don't know how much work that will actually take, but figure it out. I'm just gonna be honest. Figure it out because it's gonna help your game out a lot. That's one of the biggest issues. They got a lot of little issues, right? But I think two of the biggest issues is solo play and proximity chat. Get that working, okay? I just don't know.
Curiosity. It says going forward, will we see more ways to customize and visualize, represent ourselves as players within the runner? Being one of my main questions for both gameplay and immersion.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think we are going to be doing a little bit more. Like, I know Andrew's team has been working on skin work for a while, in terms of just thinking about how to like give you visual options to express yourself. We're not going to talk super deep about it because we're still in the process of figuring a lot of those pieces out. But is there anything you want to share on that front, Andrew?
Yeah, we were looking at different, ways for their, the runners to be customized, both gameplay wise and also in terms of their visual sets. We're also looking at, we're also, making, weapon stuff too to express your weapons and stuff, different ways, and multiple ways, not just one.
That did trigger something that I think we forgot to talk about that we want to talk about was build crafting, how we're like sort of thinking a little bit more about how we want to make more distinct build crafting elements,
Yeah, we're excited about the whole cosmetic side, the fashion game, and that we're going to deliver. Our characters, our base characters have such a unique look and sort of specific to our visual world that it's a question we've gotten a lot about. What kind of range, what kind of aesthetic or visual range do these runners support? And the answer is all of them. So yeah, we're very excited to start rolling out looks and sort of ways for players to identify more specifically with certain runners or styles or fashions.
Okay, this is gonna be a quick one, okay? Because I guarantee you, right? It's just gonna be skins for the whole character, like something like Apex Legends, Call of Duty, something like that. Now, my problem is with this is like, how expensive it's gonna be because we already see in Destiny. Let's look at the Star Wars set. For each set, it's like $20. That's $60 if you want to buy all 3 Star Wars skins. That's just mind's blown me. And I love Star Wars. I'm a big Star Wars fan. Look at this. I don't know if y'all can see this, but I'm probably gonna like zoom in on it. But I got this, and I got this too. Like, look, look. I love Star Wars. I love Star Wars. Little pocket watch right here. I don't. I have way more stuff. I absolutely love Star Wars. I've been watching it since basically I was born, like in the 90s. I love it. $20 for an armor set? That's freaking ridiculous, man. So like that's what scares me about this. Like, how much are these skins gonna cost? Because I guarantee you it's not gonna be like Destiny where you have like different armor pieces, right? It's just gonna probably be a full set skin and that's it. $15-$20. Maybe some cheaper ones, but knowing Bungie, probably not. And weapons are probably gonna be the same too. Like you can buy a weapon skin, 10, 15, maybe $20. You know, it's not gonna be like very that weapons, it can't really be that customizable, right? But for like characters, it could be, but I guarantee you it probably won't be. And if I'm wrong, well, you can blast me on X and Instagram and come back to this video and be like, you're wrong. And I'll be like, yeah, I was wrong, but that's what I think.
Reconsider its stance on proximity chat or exploring other ways to encourage more emergent social interactions between rival players and squads?
Yeah, I think that's one of the areas that we're still brainstorming around. You know, is like, how do you signal to other people? Like, you know, the classic friendly. You know, like what's our version of that? You know, or is there a way that you can use those things in interesting ways between groups right now? We don't have a solution to it just yet, you know, but we are talking through it right now. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, all right. They can't really do much about the chat between teammates, right? You can have a regular chat system, you know, but if people just don't want to communicate, I mean, yes, ping system it's gonna help a little bit, but not a lot. You know, if you play any online games, uh, battle royale, any extraction shooter or anything, people just don't want to communicate. They're not gonna communicate. Simple as that. You know, it's not much they can do about that. But yet again, they can help between other teams and stuff. Talk chat, I just don't get it. Like, why is this a big issue? Now, if it's something in the back end that they really don't know how to do, because I don't think they actually had proc chat in any other games. So maybe they just don't know how to do it. Like, I think, you know, communication is key. Being uh transparent about stuff. Like, yes, we're trying to get proc chat to work and stuff. We just don't know how to really do it at the back end, but it might not be there at launch, but we're going to try to get it working. Good to hear. But acting like they have no answer for it and they're trying to just figure it out. What are you talking about? Like, what? Like, it just blows my mind. Yes, I'm a little frustrated by this because I want Marathon to succeed. Like, I'm not a huge fan of extraction shooters. No, I'm not. The only one I've really been playing, especially lately, is Delta Force. I think that's a pretty good extraction shooter. You know, it's not too hardcore, and it's not like out of like the realm of, you know, Hunt Showdown. Kind of like in the middle, more leaning towards like Tarkov. You know, that's what I've been getting into, and I actually like it. Do I love it? No. I like arena shooters and stuff. I like Destiny 2 PvP. I like Halo. I like Call of Duty and stuff. And yes, I play some Battle Royale here and there, but it's just this whole stream it kind of like frustrated me. Besides, well, that frustrated me too, but the artist thing and everything. But I understand like the legal stuff and how the hiring process and all that, and is she going to actually get in contact with them? If not, disrupt the whole thing. I get that. But acting like we haven't, the audience, the people who are interested in this game, the people who have played this game, haven't gave you the answers that you need to make this a somewhat successful game. It blows my freaking mind, you know. Now, if you actually are thinking about implementing these things in the game, let us know so we can just shut up about it, you know, because I'm not the only one on the internet, on X, YouTube, or anything who are saying these things and keep saying these things repeatedly. Oh man, I just don't want this game to fail, because I know if it does, it can be very, very bad for Bungie at the end of the day. 'Cause remember, Sony bought them for what, $3.7 billion, something like that. That's a lot of money. That's a big investment in the studio, and right now, Bungie only has one game under the belt that's making somewhat decent money. That's Destiny. You know, this can be a huge hit to Bungie, and Sony could tear them apart. I don't know if people realize that, and basically leave Bungie basically as a skeleton crew and only like, I don't know, 1,000, a few hundred people to work on Destiny. And right now, I mean, you see how Destiny's going right now. I mean, we cannot afford to lose more people on the Destiny team. Just gonna say it, we can. And if Marathon failed, if it's a big failure like Concord, we're in some trouble. And I kind of think if it's not like a big hit, if it's just like a mid success, we could still be in some trouble. Want this game to succeed at the end of the day. Am I going to play it a lot? I don't know. But I don't want it to fail. I don't want it to crash and burn. I don't want it to be a Concord 2. All right? So, I mean, that's really all I have to say about this live stream. No. With that said, I'm out. Leave comments and let's talk about Marathon and what you thought about this live stream, and if plagiarism will make you God. I'm just playing. But yeah, leave a like or dislike, subscribe, ring that bell for more videos, and ladies and gentlemen, like I always say, have a good day or night whenever you're watching this. Peace.